Whether or not it's purposefully manipulative or whether it's part of their character, almost involuntary. Have you given that any thought?
Um, I have, I'm going to say, debated that with some people, and this is my own perspective. I'm trying to think carefully of how to say it. I think some people's character, it's just in them. I can think of personal experiences, and I can think of, friends I know who believe that somebody's, spending hours plotting and doing all this stuff on purpose. I'm going to say maybe in a couple of instances there is that happening, but I think I can't remember. There's a commercial and it's "Baby, you're born with it" or something like that. That's the tagline. But I just think it's ingrained in some people's characters, and they're not going to change. So, in terms of like the narcissistic boss, when you are emotionally, going in and trying to plead your case or change the situation, I mean, that's exactly where they want you.
The follow-up question to that is, would it change how you treat them in any way? Because if your approach is the same, it's almost irrelevant. But would your actions change based on if you knew what their intent would be?
Yes, and I don't think I would be as reactive or, you know, poking the bear, so to speak. Not that I was necessarily doing that on purpose, but now knowing that someone you know, checked off 20 characteristics of somebody that was exhibiting, whether it's toxic behavior, narcissistic personality disorder, or something like that. Um, yeah, you got to tread carefully and also realize that it's a losing battle. I mean, I know with my, in my mother's case, and I estranged myself from my parents and one sibling 10 years ago. Had I tried to even, like, I tried setting boundaries before I knew what boundaries were. And, they came after me like there was something wrong with me. And if I were to verbally try to do it again, like, I'd get a backlash. So, I had to, I mean, it evolved. And when I did try to explain why I was removing myself, I was told I had the problem. And it wasn't the problem. I was trying to move away from the problem and, for self preservation. Um, but had I tried to point out, Mom, you drove a wall between Dad and I, and you won't let him speak for himself anymore. And why can't I take the dogs for a walk with him alone? Victim, martyr, and there's no, there would be no rationalizing.